So my senior English teacher, Jan Harris, AP English 4, saved my life in many ways. Literally, one of the ways that she saved my life, changed my life, impacted my life forever was teaching me the power of literature and how I could escape my life by literature and by reading, and how I could process the overly analytical part of myself through writing. Anyways, when I graduated college to become an English teacher, I received a package in the mail, and Jan had sent me this anthology of poetry along with immortal poems and major British poets. And I've had these books on my bookshelf in every classroom in which I've taught, and they've been in my office with me now in administration. So today I picked the books up off the shelf and just started perusing through them. And I've spent the last 2 hours just reading through poems. So I'm going to share some of these with you. This first one is by Alfred Lord Tennyson. This is Ulysses. This is based on Homer's Odyssey. It little profits that an idle king, by the still hearth among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I meet and dole unequal laws unto a savage race that hoard and sleep and feed and know not me. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed, greatly have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. On shore and when through scudding drifts the rainy Hyades vexed the dim sea. I am become a name. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honored of them all. In drunk delight of battle with my peers, far on the ringing plains of windy Troy, I am a part of all that I have met. Yet all experience is an arch wherethrough gleams that untraveled world whose margin fades forever and forever when I move. How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life, life piled on life were all too little, and of but one to me little remains. But every hour is saved from that eternal silence, and something more, a bringer of new things. And vile it were for some 3 suns to store and hoard myself in this gray spirit, yearning and desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought. This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the scepter and the isle, well loved of me, discerning to fulfill this labor by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people, and through soft decrees subdue them to the useful and the good. Most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, decent not to fail in offices of tenderness and pay meet adoration to my household gods when I'm gone. He works his work in mine. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail, there gloom the dark, broad seas. My mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with mine, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine and the opposed free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Death closes all. But something ere the end, some work of noble note may yet be done, not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes, the low moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well into order, smite the sounding furrows. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset, and the baths of all these western stars until I die. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles, whom we know, though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. So after spending, what is it? Was it 18 years away from home? Odysseus finally makes it home, but he's spent 9 years in battle and 9 years on the sea, fighting the gods and sea monsters and fighting off or not fighting off temptresses. And he finally gets home and he has to fight for his throne. But then when it's all done, he's anxious for more adventure and desirous to not be old. Robert Browning, My Last Duchess. Robert Browning was like crazy famous. He was a superstar of his day. There were Robert Browning reading clubs. When Robert Browning came to America, he was met at the port by a huge fan club, and they were all wearing brown. And there were these really trendy groups of people reading Browning poetry where they would dress in brown and they would have their furniture in brown and brown carpet and they would sit together and read Robert Browning's poems. I've always been a bigger fan of his wife, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, but she died. And after she died, he went on and traveled the world as a poet. So this poem, My Last Duchess. Ferrara. That's my last Duchess painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. I call that piece a wonder now. Fra Pandolf's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. Will it please you to sit and look at her? I said, Fra Pandolf by design, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance, the depth and passion of its earnest glance. But to myself they turn, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you but I. And seemed as they would and seemed as they would ask me, if they durst, how such a glance came there so. So not the first are you to turn and ask thus. Sir, 'twas not her husband's presence only called the spot of joy into the Duchess's cheek. Perhaps Fra Pandolf chanced to say, her mantle laps over my lady's wrist too much, or paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half-flush that dies along her throat. Such stuff was courtesy, she thought, and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. She had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She liked whate'er she looked on, and her looks went everywhere. Sir, 'twas all one. My favor at her breast, the dropping of the daylight in the west, the bough of cherries some officious fool broke in the orchard for her, the white mule she rode round the terrace, all and each would draw from her alike the approving speech or blush at least. She thanked men, good, but thanked somehow, I know not how, as if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift. Who'd stoop to blame this sort of trifling? Even had you skill in speech, which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one and say, just this or that in you disgusts me, here you miss or there exceed the mark. And if she let herself be lessoned so, more plainly set, her wits to yours, forsooth, and made excuse, e'en then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, where'er I passed her, but who passed without much the same smile? The screw. I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. There she stands as if alive. Will it please your eyes? We'll meet the company below, then. I repeat, the Count, your master's no munificence is ample warrant that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed, though this fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting, is my object. Nay, we'll go together down, sir. Notice Neptune, though, taming a seahorse, thought a rarity, which claws of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. And then also by Robert Browning, Porphyria's Lover. The rain set early in tonight. The sullen wind was soon awake. It tore the elm tops down for spite, and did its worst to vex the lake. I listened with heart fit to break. When glided in Porphyria, straight she shut the cold out and the storm, and kneeled and made the cheerless grate blaze up, and all the cottage warm. which done, she rose, and from her form withdrew the dripping cloak and shawl, and laid her soiled gloves by, untied her hat, and let the damp hair fall, and last she sat down by my side and called me. When no voice replied, she put my arm about her waist, and made her smooth white shoulders bare, and all her yellow hair deplaced, and stooping made my cheek lie there, and spread o'er all her yellow hair, murmuring how she loved me, she too weak for all her heart's endeavor to set its struggling passion free from pride and vainer ties dissever and give herself to me forever. But passion sometimes would prevail, nor could tonight's gay feast restrain a sudden thought of one so pale for love of her, and all in vain. So she was come through wind and rain. Be sure I looked up at her eyes, happy and proud. At last I knew Porphyria worshipped me. Surprise made my heart swell, and still it grew while I debated what to do. That moment she was mine, mine, fair, perfectly pure and good. I found a thing to do, and all her hair in one long yellow string, I wound 3 times her little throat around and strangled her. No pain felt she. I am quite sure she felt no pain. As a shut bud that holds a bee, I warily opened her lids. Again laughed the blue eyes without a stain, and I untightened next the tress around her neck. Her cheek once more blushed bright beneath my burning kiss. I propped her head up as before, only this time my shoulder bore her head, which droops upon it still. The smiling, rosy little head, so glad it has its utmost will, and that all it scorned at once has fled, and I its love, and gained instead Porphyria's love. She guessed not how her darling one wish would be heard. And thus we sit together now, and all night long we have not stirred, and yet God has not said a word. Yeah, he killed her, and he's sitting on the couch next to her. All right. Moving on a little bit. We'll touch on a little bit of Walt Whitman here. Out of the cradle, endlessly rocking. Out of the cradle, endlessly rocking, out of the mockingbird's throat, the musical shuttle, out of the 9th month midnight, over the sterile sands and the fields beyond, where the child leaving his bed wandered alone, bareheaded, barefoot, down from the showered halo, up from the mystic play of shadows twining and twisting as if they were alive, out from the patches of briars and blackberries, from the memories of the bird that chanted to me, from your memories, sad brother, from the fitful risings and fallings I heard, from under that yellow half moon late risen and swollen as if with tears, from those beginning notes of yearning and love there in the midst, from the 1,000 responses of my heart never to cease, from the myriad thence aroused words, from the words stronger and more delicious than any, from such as now they start the scene revisiting, as a flock twittering rising or overheard passing borne hither, ere all eludes me hurriedly, a man, yet by these tears a little boy again, throwing myself on the sound, confronting the waves, I, chatter on pains and joy, uniter of here and hereafter, taking all hints to use them, but swiftly leaping beyond them, a reminiscence sing. Once Pominock, while the lilac scent was in the air and 5th month grass was growing, up this seashore in some briars, 2 feathered guests from Alabama, 2 together, and their nests and 4 light green eggs spotted with brown, and every day the he-bird to and fro near at hand, and every day the she-bird crouched on her nest, silent with bright eyes, and every day I, a curious boy, never close, never disturbing them, cautiously peering, absorbing, translating. Shine, shine, shine. Pour down your warmth, great sun, while we bask, we two together. We two together, winds blow south or winds blow north, day come white or night come black. Home or rivers and mountains from home, singing all time, minding no time, while we two keep together. Till all of a sudden, may be killed, unknown to her mate. One forenoon the she-bird crouched not on the nest, nor returned that afternoon or the next, nor ever appeared again. And thenceforward all summer in the sound of the sea, and at night under the full of the moon and calmer weather, over the hoarse surging of the sea, or flitting from briar to briar by day, I heard at intervals the remaining one, the he-bird, the solitary guest from Alabama, blow, 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 blow up sea winds along Pennomic's shore. I wait and I wait till you blow my mate to me. Yes, when the stars glistened all night long on the prong of a moss-scalloped stake, down almost amid the slapping waves sat the lone singer, wonderful, causing tears. He called on his mate. He poured forth the meaning which I of all men know. Yes, my brother, I know. The rest might not, but I have treasured every note. For more than once, dimly down to the beach gliding, silent, avoiding the moonbeams, blending myself with the shadows, recalling now the obscure shapes, the echoes, the sounds, and sights after their sorts, the white arms out in the breakers, tirelessly tossing, I with bare feet, a child, the wind wafting my hair, listened long and long, listened to keep, to sing, now translating the notes, following you, my brother. Soothe, soothe, soothe. Close on its wave, soothes the wave behind, and again another behind, embracing and lapping every one close. But my love soothes not me, not me. Low hangs the moon. It rose late. It is lagging. Oh, I think it is heavy with love, with love. Oh, madly the sea pushes upon the land with love, with love. Oh, night, do I not see my love fluttering out among the breakers? What is that little black thing I see there in the white? Loud, 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 loud I call to you, my love. High and clear I shoot my voice over the waves. Surely you must know where is here, is here. You must know who I am, my love. Low hanging moon, what is that dusky spot in your brown yellow? Oh, it is the shape of my mate. Oh, moon, do not keep her from me any longer. Land, land, oh, land, whichever way I turn, oh, I think you could give me my mate back again if only you would, for I am almost sure I would. I see her dimly, whichever way I look. Oh, rising stars, perhaps the ones I want so much will rise with some of you. Oh, throat, oh, trembling throat, sound clearer through the atmosphere, pierce the woods, the earth, somewhere listening to catch you must be the one I want. Shake out carols, solitary, hear the night's carols, carols of lonesome love, death's carols. Carols under that lagging, yellow, waning moon. Oh, under that moon where she droops almost down into the sea. Oh, reckless, despairing carols, but soft. Sink low, soft. Let me just murmur. And do you wait a moment, you husky noised sea? For somewhere I believe I heard my mate responding to me. So faint, I must be still to listen. But not altogether still, for then she might not come immediately to me. Hither, my love. Here I am, here. With this just sustained note, I announce myself to you. This gentle call is for you, my love, for you. Do not be decoyed elsewhere. That is the whistle of the wind. It is not my voice. That is the fluttering of the spray. Those are the shadows of leaves. Oh, darkness. Oh, in vain. Oh, I am very sick and sorrowful. Oh, brown halo in the sky near the moon drooping under the sea. Oh, troubled reflection in the sea. Oh, throat. Oh, throbbing heart. And I singing uselessly, uselessly all the night. Oh, past. Oh, happy life. Oh, songs of joy. In the air, in the woods, over the fields, loved, 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 loved. But my mate no more. No more with me. We two together no more. The aria sinking, all else continuing, the stars shining, the winds blowing, The notes of the bird continuous echoing, with angry moans, the fierce old mother incessantly moaning on the sands of the Panama shore, gray and rustling. The yellow half moon enlarged, sagging down, drooping, the face of the sea almost touching. The boy ecstatic, with his bare feet the waves, with his hair the atmosphere dallying. The love and the heart long spent, now loose, now at last tumultuously bursting. The aria's meaning, the ears, the soul swiftly depositing, the strange tears down the cheeks coursing. The colloquy there, the trio each uttering, the undertone, the savage old mother incessantly crying to the old boy's souls questioning, sullenly timing, some drowned secret hissing to the outsetting bard. Demon or bird, said the boy's soul. Is it indeed toward your mate you sing, or is it really to me? For I, that was a child, my tongue's use sleeping, now I have heard you. Now in a moment I know what I am for. I awake, and already 1,000 singers, 1,000 songs, clearer, louder, and more sorrowful than yours. 1,000 warbling echoes have started to life within me, never to die. Oh, you singer solitary, singing by yourself, projecting me. Oh, solitary me listening, never more shall I cease perpetuating you. Never more shall I escape. Never more the reverberations. Never more the cries of unsatisfied love be absent from me. Never again leave me to the peaceful child I was before, what there in the night, by the sea, under the yellow and sagging moon. The messenger there aroused, the fire, the sweet hell within, the unknown want, the destiny of me. Oh, give me the clue. It lurks in the night here somewhere. Oh, if I am to have so much, let me have more. A word then, for I will conquer it. The word final, superior to all, subtle, sent up. What is it? I listen. Are you whispering it? And have been all the time, you sea waves? Is that it from your liquid rims and your wet sands? Where to, answering the sea, delaying not, hurrying not, whispered me through the night, and very plainly before daybreak, lisped to me the low and delicious word, death. And again, death, 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 death. Hissing melodious, neither like the bird nor like my aroused child's heart, but edging near as privately for me, rustling at my feet, creeping thence steadily up to my ears, and laving me softly all over. Death, 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 which I do not forget, but fuse the song of my dusky demon and brother, that he sing to me in the moonlight on Panama's gray beach, with 1,000 responsive songs at random, my own songs awaked from that hour, and with them the key, the word up from the waves, the word of the sweetest song and all songs, that strong and delicious word which, creeping to my feet, or like some old crone rocking the cradle, swathed in sweet garments bending aside, the sea whispered me. One more from Walt Whitman. Song of Myself, 6. The child said, "What is the grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How I could answer the child. I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembered designed, dropped, bearing the owner's name, and some way in the corners that we may see and remark and say, whose? Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyph, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white. Cannock, Tuckahoe, Congressman, Cuff, I give them the same, I receive them the same, and now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hairs of graves. Tenderly will I use the curling grass. It may be you transpire from the breasts of young men. It may be if I had known them, I would have loved them. It may be you are from old people. or from offspring taken soon out of their mother's laps. And here you are, the mother's laps. This grass is very dark to be from the white heads of old mothers, darker than the colorless beards of old men, dark to come from under the faint red roofs of mouths. Oh, I perceive after all so many uttering tongues, and I perceive they do not come from the roofs of mouths for nothing. I wish I could translate the hints about the dead young men and women, and the hints about the old men and mothers and the offspring taken soon out of their laps. What do you think has become of the young and old men? And what do you think has become of the women and the children? They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows there is really no death. And if ever there was, it led forward life, and does not wait at the end to arrest it, and cease the moment life appeared. All goes onward and outward. Nothing collapses. And to die is different from what anyone supposed, and luckier. Okay, we're going to break this into several parts. So I'll be back in a moment.